Hey guys, so I picked up a classic for a change of pace. This week I'm reviewing Watchmen. So, the comic starts off with Rorschach reading out of his journal describing what he thinks of the world, which I gotta say, however cynical, it's really great writing. It's really interesting seeing his plain, simple view of everything, but it's really logical at the same time. So, after this, we see some detectives investigating a crime scene which is about the murder of Edward Blake, which we later find out after Rorschach trespasses the crime scene, is the comedian. So, Rorschach figures, since the comedian is basically steroids personified, this wasn't a burglary or something normal. This was unusual. He figures someone must be hunting superheroes. Why not? It makes sense. So, after this is a really brutal scene. He walks into a bar and everyone is just really afraid of him. And what's funny, this guy across silently insults Rorschach to his friend. And his friend just looks at him and then at Rorschach like, dude, you fucked up. Why did you say that? Just shut up, I don't want to get my ass kicked. After this, Rorschach walks up to the guy and breaks 3 of his fingers as an interrogation asking who killed the comedian. So after this whole ordeal, he comes to the conclusion, you know what? Maybe the guy and the people in the bar really don't know who killed the comedian. So he broke a guy's finger for nothing, I guess. So the rest of the comic is pretty much him visiting Night Owl, Vit, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, Mr. Manhattan and Silk or Jupiter. So he's trying to warn them, someone is trying to kill you, watch out, watch your back. But it's really cool reading this scene because I did watch the movie adaptation after. The dialogue, the costumes, the poses the characters are in are beat for beat from the comic. I mean, it's spooky good. You gotta hold the comic up to the screen while you're watching the movie, and you'll see how exact it is. I mean, Zack Snyder, he did great with that movie. I mean, I don't know what happened to Man of Steel, but he did a great job with Watchmen. Now, the comic in itself is a lot of character development, and that is a big part of the story from what I've read so far and how it's going to set up the comic. Now, I can see why a lot of people might not like it because some people like action, but it's a really great story. Just trust me on this. So, the comic ends with Silk and Night Owl reuniting as friends and talking about the good old days when they used to be the Watchmen. And before the act that made them hang up the mask, so it's a really good comic. What I like most about it is it really focuses on Rorschach and how he views everything, but it also shows how everyone in the Watchmen themselves view Rorschach, He thinks everyone's crazy and everyone thinks he's crazy as well. It's pretty funny. It's great. It's brilliantly written. So, I give this comic an overall 9.5 out of 10. It's well deserved. It's a great comic, amazing issue. The characters are written to perfection, and it sets up the story pretty well.